All right, guys, I'm in a prototype mood. Let's shoot something random, shall we? Here we go. Hovering off the right side. Oh man, shooting these iron sights never gets old, guys. Welcome back. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today we got a special rifle for you. This comes from Brownells Retro line, and this is the BRN-PROTO, which stands for prototype. And this is indicative of literally the first ever prototype that Eugene Stoner developed in his workshop of a direct gas impingement service rifle, okay? It takes a lot of features from the early AR-10, which you guys know, the first AR, direct gas impingement, you know, what we know as an AR-15 style of rifle, the first ones were 30 cals, okay? We're talking 1955, okay, so pretty early. Around 58, 59 or so was when this rifle was developed. So this is a really early direct gas impingement rifle. And maintains some really odd features that you're not really going to see on a standard rifle. The first magazines early on were 25 shot straight magazines, okay? So this is a 25 shot magazine. And, you know, and it's a straight one. So you see it's not curved. It kind of just sticks out of the bottom. You know, a little bit more room there, I guess, that you have to come up with. They wound up deciding on a 20 round magazine, but it's cool that Brownells actually went through the trouble to make the actual 25 round magazine that was initially, you know, prototyped, okay? They've went through a lot of effort to really get these rifles right. And there's some other really unique features. I mean, we see that it retains a style of buttstock that we see throughout the later rifles, and a style of pistol grip that, you know, ends up going throughout the later rifles. The forend is certainly different. You can see it's just a vented forend, not the triangular shaped forend that you see on the initial service rifles that were issued to the United States military. It's got the round style forend, 20-inch barrel, chrome line bore with a 1 in 12 right hand twist, 3-prong flash hider, and also the front sight post, or the front sight base rather, is a lot different than what you're used to seeing, which is kind of cool, gives it definitely a different look. And we also see the way that the sling stud is attached to the front sight base is a lot different too than what you see. So, you know, because it's a prototype, obviously some design attributes were changed, tweaked, moved around, everything. Another distinctive feature that you see obviously is the charging handle, which is located under the carry handle. So in the early versions of the AR-10, and in this case the prototype, you had this charging handle up here. We all know, as history suggests, that the charging handles on most ARs are now located here in the rear, but that wasn't the case early on. Eugene Stoner went with this style of charging handle, which is fine, but it is a little cumbersome. You know, it's a little weird to get to if you're not used to it. Okay, you've got no forward assist. That was also an early feature, and you got a smooth side bolt, okay? Other than that, relatively AR-like. I mean, when you get behind this rifle, it feels very familiar. The ergonomics of the gun are very, very similar to what you're probably used to. The location of the safety, the bolt stop, the magazine release, A lot of those things remain relatively unchanged throughout the entire service life of the AR. Okay, you do have a dust cover. Okay, really cool. Okay, the sights are a rear diopter that's adjustable for windage, and you have 2 different diopter settings based on how you flip it up. Okay, and then your front sight is adjustable for elevation. This rifle required a little bit of tweaking out of the box with the sights. We had to get that rear sight drifted over a pretty good bit, but we got her zeroed. The front sight post is buried down pretty deep in the base. We had to get that dialed down pretty low, but we got the gun zeroed, and it's not shooting too terrible. It will run with any type of metal mags you want to use. So we do have a Brownells just 20 shot box here that came from one of the other retros, and it will obviously use that no problem. Okay, we'll give that a shot. We're running 55 grain ammo. Okay, so because this is a 1 in 12 inch twist gun, it's going to prefer the lighter pills. It's not going to really do the 62 and 70 and 69, 75 grain. You start getting into the heavier stuff, it's not going to stabilize it quite as well. 62s may shoot, but I would keep it 55 grain ammo is really going to be what a 1 in 12 prefers. Okay, and we're just running a little bit of this Federal MSR ammo, 55 grain stuff. It's just kind of bulk packed, but it's what we got. It's running. Really cool stuff. Okay, now before we shoot any more, I'll quickly mention also, I have handled some of the actual prototypes really early, you know, Eugene Stoner stuff that was like mocked up in his shop. A collector here in Georgia let me handle some pieces from his collection. I've discussed it in a few other videos, but I'll just mention, like I got to handle, you know, one of Ronald Reagan's M16A2s. I got to handle one of the first ARs that Eugene Stoner mocked up that had a forward assist. It was like this just crudely welded thing. I also got to handle a very early version of this rifle that was an experimental left-hand eject that had this Rube Goldberg like cut in the side that Eugene Stoner was experimenting with the left-hand eject AR, which obviously we know, other than, you know, looking at like Stag Arms, who is kind of known for making left-hand eject ARs, that was kind of their thing. Back then it was a really weird concept. And I also got to handle some of the early Bakelite furniture versions of these rifles. So that's one area that the Brownells Retro is a little bit of a departure from the genuine article, is that this uses basically just a polymer furniture, and it's kind of a brown polymer, which is fine, but the originals were like a Bakelite material. I would imagine that producing Bakelite furniture these days would probably give you cancer. I don't know why they don't do that, but you know, other than the furniture is a little off from the originals, but the overall spirit of the rifle and the features is very similar to the genuine articles, which I have handled. Okay, shoot it a little bit more and have some fun, guys. Mainly trying to give you all the info, and I mean, you guys see we're shooting here, but I'm not going to shoot a ton, but I just want you guys to see the rifle, see what it's all about. Definitely a really, really cool setup, and you just can't go wrong with a vintage style AR. I mean, if you can get out and make it happen with iron sights, always a ton of fun. All right. Pretty futuristic back then, you know. Going for the half size on the left. 10-4. It's a half-size D28 at 300 yards.
It's a hard target to shoot with irons.
With open sights. Yeah, really cool stuff. You know, I really wanted you guys to just get like kind of a cool initial look at this rifle. It's really neat. This is something that I really want to do more work with in the future, maybe take it out to some longer range and everything like that. You know, these guns are really like about a 2-minute gun with iron sights if you do your part and with good ammunition. They are a ton of fun. They get a lot of looks at the range. I mean, every person that I've ran into out and about when I've had this rifle with me, they all want to check it out, look at it, shoot it. It's just such a conversation piece. And for the AR guy that kind of has everything, it's the perfect type of rifle for the discerning collector who can't get into the real deal Colts that are, you know, $20,000, $30,000 in some cases. This is a great way to scratch that itch without having to drop a ton of dough. So guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. We always love taking our iron sight rifles out to have some fun. Anytime you're running irons is always a good day. You know, that's a skill that you have to stay on top of, guys. Don't rely on scopes, don't rely on batteries and red dots, don't rely on rangefinders, rely on your wits, your eyesight, and rely on those iron sights. They're always going to be on and true for you, and that's one of the charms of these rifles, is they're ready to go, you grab it, and they're good to go. You know, infantryman's best friend. So I want to definitely thank all of you for watching today's video. All of our Patreon supporters, thank you so much for the support. You guys are awesome, you rock, thank you. All the folks who purchase man cans, t-shirts on the website, merchandise, all the funds we earn off of those purchases go right back into supporting the channel, supporting our advocacy. Thank you so much for allowing us to continue what we do. If you see value in what we do, that's one of the most direct ways that you can support our channel. So for those of you who do, thank you so very much. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Many more videos on the way.